fun, right, Micah?
That's right. I love that song. Why was I over here dancing?
Well, we can't play the whole thing because I didn't want us to get clipped before we even got started. Well, hey everybody, how you doing?
Hey,
Oop.
Victoria and Golden Blues or Blue. I always say blues.
Blues Clues. I know where you're thinking.
Yeah.
While you're saying hi to everybody, I'm typing hi to everybody in
Oh,
the chats.
hey, Denise. Hey, Justice.
I think I got everybody. I had to do Sean twice because I spelt his name. It hooked up to Golden's for a minute.
Oh,
So
hey,
we got
Sean.
Blue Eyes, Victoria, Denise, Justice. I went on a cleaning spree yesterday, Maka.
Uh-oh.
Maybe that's why I fell asleep like at 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock last night.
It could be.
But I did all of Jackson's toys, wiped even the tiny little figures down, all the toys in the front room, did a couple loads of laundry, did the dishes and emptied the dishwasher, even made dinner.
Oh, man.
Yep, decided on some fried potatoes and fillets.
Oh, that sounds good. I've done
It
some unfried uh, Monterey Jack chicken, I think is what it was called.
unfried.
Yeah, it's unfried, but it's crispy. I done it in the air fryer.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, with some carrots, some roasted carrots and potatoes.
Well, you kind of got me because you told me 6 months ago about an air fryer. I don't know if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out and I
Well,
bought one. And it sat on the counter. Me and Tim's like, you know what? When the baby leaves, we'll open up. Hey, BC, we're going to get into it. We're going to see how it works. Well, eventually, Tim got tired of it being on the counter. So he took it outside and put it up on the shelf outside in the garage.
oh,
And I decided about 2 weeks ago, you know what? Tim's live. I've got to pull this sucker down and let's see what this air fryer is about. So I read the directions and, like, you can see I'm actually trying to do, I have a recipe coming out where I'm actually using it for the first time. And I'm like, I'm going to do, let me see. And because I'm lost about I forgot what the directions told me to do because I'd only used it once before and I'm trying to find the buttons that I need. But I started buying the vegetables for the air fryer, the potatoes for the air fryer that you
mm-hmm.
can get with the peppers and onions. Um,
Yes,
those don't taste as good to me, but I did have pizza rolls, the little Gino Totino's pizza rolls today.
yeah,
I did use those in my air fryer, and those weren't so bad.
yeah. It makes them all nice and crispy.
Yeah. Now I have not done any meats yet. I haven't cooked any steaks or anything because I got my new grill, and
Right.
I like either broiling my meats or grilling my meats. And I didn't want to waste fillets in
No,
an air fryer.
I've never had luck with red meat in the air fryer. I've had more luck with chicken than anything. Like pork chops, I've not had any luck. But now chicken, I like. It's really good. It's real juicy. So,
Okay, I'm gonna try blue eyes. I think that's a pimento bug. They're usually about the size of a 50-cent piece, and they like to be on flowers and
uh, was it a hard shell flower or hard shell? I wonder.
she just said it was a green bug on her flowers about the size of a 50-cent piece.
Hmm.
Food and deer. How about fresh tenderloin? I am not
Oh,
a deer eater. Hey, Savannah.
hey, Savannah.
I know you are, Maka.
Yes, I love deer meat. I used to fry up the tenderloin, and as it was coming out of the pan, I would eat it.
Oh, wow. Hey, Benny,
Yeah.
nephew. I've had it by different people, done up
No,
different ways. And nope, I just am not a fan.
no. Some people just don't like it. I mean, it's kind of one of those things that's just, all about your taste buds.
Hey, Roland, we appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, Roland. Hey, Vinny
S-
Van.
I've had it where at first it was really gamey, and
Mm,
somebody says, "Look, they didn't know what they were doing, but I can
mm,
make it. You ain't gonna taste it." Well, they didn't let me know what it was, and I'm like, they're like, "How's your steak?" And I'm like, and I was trying to be nice, and I was like, it's okay. And they're like, all right, be honest. And I'm like, there's just something a little off. I don't know what it is, but it's a little off from the steak that I'm used to eating.
right.
And they're like, damn. Everybody else said I was crazy, but I was able to tell it was not normal steak.
No.
So, but I am a big meat, a carnivore. I love steak. So to me, I wonder if that's why, is I can, taste
It
it.
could
But
be.
it wasn't that it was gamey. It just, I mean, it didn't taste like, oh, it was a, kind of like,
Yeah.
mm-mm, not for me.
No. So, I mean, some people are like that. I mean, they like, well, just like, what is it? Is it buffalo?
Yeah.
Is it buffalo I'm thinking of? I think it was. I'm not a big fan of, but a lot of people are. But
And I'm
they say
sorry,
that it tastes like deer.
no, frog legs do not taste like chicken either.
I've never had frog legs.
Snake does not taste like chicken. Alligator does not taste like damn chicken. People, if you think it tastes like chicken, go get your taste buds. I think people who told me that, I always notice they're smokers. And their
Oh,
taste buds are off because of being a smoker. And then
yeah.
they quit smoking, and after months of just a few months of not smoking, they realize, oh wow, that doesn't taste like that. Well, no, duh, I've never smoked before. That's why. Maybe I have I'm able to pick up flavors better, but no.
No. Hey, Jeffrey.
How you doing, Jeffrey?
Yeah, that's since I got my allergy medicine and stuff. They got it all sorted out, and now I've got to where I can taste stuff. Like things taste different now, and there's things I used to not like that I like now, and then vice versa. It's weird, like just by clearing up my sinuses and my allergies and stuff.
I have had rabbit. My grandmother, being from Malta, she did uh put it in a stew. It was almost like a beef stew. So I didn't
Uh,
even know I was eating a pet rabbit. Because we were going to Germany and my Uncle Tony gave me a rabbit, and of course we can't take it. But she made it up, and I didn't know it until I heard her talking to my mom about the rabbit. And at first I was kind of sad, but damn, the stew was so good. But I've had it before since then, and no, I don't know what she did, but I guess maybe it was how you grow up with different spices and different
yeah.
ways that people cook, that it always comes out a little different.
Oh, yeah. It's not
So,
like turtle. I've had turtle. Hey, Michael. Have you ever had turtle?
no, but my ex used to pick up the turtles on the side of the road for his mom to make turtle soup.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But they recommend, I wanted to get my daughter a turtle for a pet, and they recommend not having turtles for pets because of all the diseases. So
Really?
I'd be afraid to eat them. Yeah, we were told that you don't want to actually have a turtle for a pet.
Huh.
I've had turtle stew and it was delicious.
Mhm.
Okay,
Hey,
BC.
BC.
How do you do your turtle? Is it just like in a stew or a soup, or do you make like kebabs or make steaks out of it? I mean, I wouldn't even know how you would do that.
I don't make it. Like I've never made it. I've only had a grandma, um one a guy that I was seeing, his grandma used to make it for us all the time. It was really good.
Okay. All right. We have a fun but serious kind of topic tonight. I don't know if it's a serious one. It's a personal
Oh,
preference.
yeah, it could go kind of both ways.
We're going to give you ideals for us, and we want your guys' opinion in the chat. Males, if you're male, of course, you're going to give us the opposite. But for women, we want to know, we're going to give you our ideals on what lets a guy stay in our life, what's a turnoff, what makes us like quietly but quickly walk to the door, and what makes us just run as fast as you can and pray he didn't see what you pulled up on in so that he can't follow you. And you pray you want to move to another city or state to so that you never run into the crazy person again. No gross stuff. Well, I don't know. It depends on some of the stuff that'll make us run, but just as like, please don't gross out. We just ate.
No.
I have had duck. Do you like duck?
I can't remember if it was either duck or goose. I can't remember. I've had one of them. I wasn't a fan of it though. It was a little, of course, it could have been the person that cooked it, but it was like slimy to me. I don't know.
Well, there's a steakhouse that we just went to on our date Sunday night, and they actually have duck tostados. And they do it really crispy on the one side with the skin. It's really crispy and almost like a chicken. But what they put it, and you have it on this crispy homemade tostado shells with cheese over it, with fresh pico de gallo, with this creamy homemade ranch dressing. And you just dip it, and it's not bad. At first I was like, ooh, I'm not eating no duck either. There's certain things I just think would no. But we tried it. So
I could see like if it's prepared, like it's always, to me, like you said earlier, it's about who prepares it and how it's prepared. Like, I mean, it's all about and how it's handled during the preparation, like, when you catch it or anything like that.
I totally agree. And then
Golden.
You guys are silly. I don't know why people always act like, we're going to gross them out, or I'm going to gross them out or something.
They're not that bad. Come on now. You've got to have heard worse in other places.
Yeah.
Blue, I don't know about a mud turtle. The turtles that I've had has been snapping turtles, is the kind that I've ate. I don't know if a mud turtle would be very good or not.
I wouldn't know either.
BC.
Oh my God. Well, if that's the case, we know me and Mock already proved we like to duck down when our husbands come home too.
Right.
Somebody asked me the other night about that. If they're like, hey, Lori, I bet you hawk tui. I was like, nope, I just like it to go in nice and smooth. I don't have to hawk tui on anybody.
Right.
Just keep it in my mouth. I would joke and I wanted to say, no, Maka's not a spitter. I couldn't quite use that joke. Like, I don't spit, but I do spit.
Right.
Everybody jokes that we spit. So I'm all by myself. Yes, Ripley. Hello. We see you, but I think you're in the wrong room. But it's okay to be over in Maka's too.
Here, I forgot to post your thing. Give me just a second here. Let's see. There you go. And I'll pin it at the top. There we go.
I can't wait till we do that one thing about the handsome versus ugly. You remember what we were talking about?
Oh, yeah. I think that'll be funny.
Yeah. So, well, we're glad to see you, Ribbit.
Yeah.
I almost want to say ribbit,
yeah.
ribbit. When I see her, it's always Rolling, Rolling, Rolling. When I see
Right.
Roland,
Yeah.
Golden makes me think of golden showers now because they put that in our head one night and I just can't get past that.
Uh,
I just look at him and be like, I think of psst. That's what I think of is having to go to the bathroom and making sure it's in the toilet, not on somebody's body.
right. I was proud of Golden the other night. He done really good at that food challenge, the eating challenge that you did, that you had,
Yes.
the
Hmm.
food contest.
Yep.
He
Bree
done
did
really good.
too. It makes
Yes,
me
she
think
did
Bree ain't
too.
got no teeth and she's been eating baby food for years. She does have teeth and she doesn't eat it, but she was just like licking this spoon. I had to
Yeah.
watch on replay. I did, you know, having bad migraine and I had it all day. That's the only reason Tim was like, I am not eating no damn baby food. And let me get this straight, guys. Tim thought I was going to be eating the baby food. He picked out the baby food. It was not
Oh.
Lori picking out knowing he was going. No, he picked out like, Lori, look, these are the only little jars. No, he didn't. It was one, Victoria. I said, where'd you throw up? In this trash can? Yeah, that's funny. There ain't no vomit in that damn trash can. But I luckily I don't know why I think the humidity because the night before I was out mowing the grass and stuff while he was live,
Yeah.
and I woke up with the pressure headache and it started as a headache. I took my Excedrin. Hey sister, and it just expanded and it got to the point where I had to call Tim on the phone with my eyes closed. It took me a couple times and he's like, what? And I was like, don't yell. I said, I need a trash can. You better bring it quick. Because moving was almost like having vertigo because if I moved, I could feel my stomach churning, ready to just, let it all out.
Uh,
So
mm,
if anybody in the chat has any ideas for a food challenge that you want to give me, please send it to me privately on IG. We're looking for our next competition. And yeah,
mm. Hey, Meg.
you dare Spencer to lose his virginity. Well, that would have to be on his word because I don't want to see the videotape.
No, no, we don't need no.
But technically, for him, it would be easy. All he has to do is like slip and fall. And the first time he probably ever sees it, he'll, make a
Oh,
mess. And even if he doesn't, it doesn't count unless you insert. Even if it's only for a second and it happens and explodes, Spencer, it still counts.
it'd
Hi,
be like, what
Yankee.
is that, American Pie? Hey,
Yes.
Yankees. It'd
Hey,
be like the guy from
Landon.
American Pie. Hey, Landon. I
Should we
don't
send him an
know.
apple pie?
Hey, there we go. Warm apple pie. I don't know, Ripid. Why does the Avon lady walk funny?
Oh, because her lipstick.
Is that what she said?
No,
Or is that what you're
that
saying?
joke. Yeah, because I
Oh,
saw
okay.
that same joke. They're like,
Oh,
why does the Avon lady walk funny? It's because her lipstick, because she sells makeup. I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh. All right, so Maka, name three things that will attract you that you want to get. Hey, fish, that you want to walk up and or have that guy walk up to you or you walk up to them and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
how you doing? Let's see. First is the eyes. I love dark eyes. So anytime I see a guy with either black or super brown eyes, um, they're the way they hold themselves, like standing, or you know what I'm saying, like if they not cocky, but kind of a
Yes.
little manly man. And trying to think of the other one. Um, their arms.
Okay. You like those muscles too.
Oh, I love a good arm. Yeah.
I
Oh
don't care
yeah.
if they don't have muscle. Anyway, they don't have to have a six pack, but
No.
when they flex, I love to just. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go into details. But yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I was sitting here trying to think. I was like, how could I go into this without it being too?
Tim has shown pictures where he's flexing a little bit, and if you look closely at the way the shirt fits right on the, you'll see. Yeah, yeah.
No.
Love to grab those biceps. For me, it's the confidence. It's almost bordering on cocky, but it's not cocky because you see it. They wear it well. They're not trying to
Yes.
be. They are commanding
Hmm.
that space. Um, it's a look. There's got to be, and it changes because my ex-husband and Tim have two different looks. One was 6'3", Tim's only 5'11". One was black hair, one is red. And my first was blonde. So it's not a certain hair color, but there's just a look, and I
Well,
can't explain it. And I
mm,
think maybe it's how they carry themselves that makes their appearance even sexier, I guess is the word.
mhm. Not
Um,
like they're like controlling, but it's like there's just a demeanor. Like you could just
they're in
tell, like they're an
charge.
alpha. Yeah, they're an
Yes.
alpha. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want a beta or a
No.
lower than a beta for sure.
Mm-mm.
But and it's also like you said, I look for that built. I don't want no skinny man that, his pants are smaller than my waist. Um
Right.
I want a man that fills out his clothes very well.
Yes.
This is just initial for me to even,
Mhm.
want to make that first initial contact. Hey,
Yes.
Purple.
Hey, Purple.
Hey,
Hey, Tyler.
nephew.
It's good to
He is
see everybody in
he
here.
has called me aunt for so long. Like I said, my sisters were whores because I had a lot of nieces and nephews around YouTube. I'm glad I have such a large family. I always wanted a big family, and now I got it. So,
There you
but
go.
shame on my sisters and them. I mean, I had two kids. I got so many. Hey, Addie, how you doing?
Hey, Eddie.
All right, so that's the initial attraction.
Hmm.
What will keep you interested after that first date to want to do a second or even a third or a fourth?
Um. Ooh. Now you know I'm going off the top of my head here. So,
Yeah. Or just even go from your experience, like from the other guys that you dated versus your husband, that you wanted to see him again.
um, I would have to say conversation. Like the conversation has to be one that catches me. Nothing like me, type deal.
Okay. That's
Um,
fine. Good.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just responding to your answer.
Uh, let's see, the conversation and if you the first kiss, of course, because when you go out on a date, I don't care what they say, the first date, you always got to have a little kiss. And if the kiss is good and you get
Mm,
that connection, of
yep.
course. And did you say three?
As many as you want. That one I didn't put a
Uh,
limit on.
Third one, I would just have to say those two. I'm sure I'll think of another one, but those two.
Okay. I agree. There has to be conversation. They have to hold my attention.
Yes.
I want to be able, but not just hold my attention. They have to be well rounded in a conversation. I don't
Hmm.
want somebody to just look at me and be all about them or make it
Hmm.
all about me. If you're wanting
Right.
to know only about me, that's kind of creepy.
Right.
If you're not willing to give me, oh no, I'm just listening. I'm fascinated by about you. Tell me about you. That's a warning signal to me. I'm out.
Mhm.
If you're
Right.
not willing to share and 50-50 even in a date, that's kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
So that mutual conversation where they're well rounded and it's not a simple subject.
Mhm.
Um, their teeth.
Yes.
when I'm sitting across the table and we're having dinner, if your teeth are, uh,
Mm,
I don't mind if you're missing a tooth or something like that. I'm talking about like if you got green, black,
mm.
bad
Right.
breath. Oh yeah, you know,
Yeah. Mm-mm.
nope.
No.
The teeth has hygiene. The mouth hygiene has to be a big one for me.
Yeah.
And I know there's going to be a couple in the back. Well, Tim's missing a tooth. Yeah, Tim had his blown out.
Right.
Um, and they have tried to fix it, but because of the damage up underneath, trying to keep it in there, every time they fixed it, it doesn't stay and it causes him more pain. So
Right.
I don't care if he's missing a tooth. He could be missing three or four. He's alive. To me, that's all that
Right.
matters.
Right. I mean, there's a
So
difference between unexpected circumstances to where something happens to where it's done by your own hands.
yeah.
Like not brushing your teeth, not good hygiene. Like to me, that's self-inflicted and that's not a
And
turn on.
drugs, like you always get those people who do a lot of meth or were on there and their teeth are all,
Yes.
when I first meet you, if you're trying to smoke at the dinner table,
Yes.
well, no, we're
And
talking about
rip
what'll keep you. Never mind. We haven't got that far yet. So I'm going to
Yeah.
stop there for a minute.
Yeah, I
But
almost said that a while ago, and I could have
yeah,
said something, and I was
I
like, "Nope,
want
not yet."
uh I want a nice smile. Them and the biggest thing that'll keep me for another day is they look me in the eyes as we talk. They're
Mhm.
not nervous.
Yes.
They're not looking at their plate. They have that confidence that drew me to them in the first place.
Yes.
And for me, it's clean cut. I want clean nails.
Mhm.
I don't want to see dirt up under their nails. Now, if they rushed and they're like, "Look, I'm running late. I had to work late," and he shows up and he's a little got dirt. Okay, I understand that. But if we had weeks and to plan the date or whatever, and you come in dirty,
Right.
and it's not just that day, but it's the next night too, or next date. Yeah. And
Mhm.
I agree, the kiss.
Yes.
If they
Yeah.
kiss you and they ram their face into you and they spit all in your mouth with a wet, slobbery tongue, no, no, no.
No.
Or their lips are all gummy. Oh,
Mm.
no, 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 no. It's got to be
No.
firm but soft, pliable, I
Yes.
guess. And when you do open your mouth because that kiss is so good, I don't want to be swallowing his spit. I want somebody that is not trying to jam their tongue down your throat either. They know
Right.
exactly how to tease your tonsil, your tongue
Right.
gives you a hint that they can tease other things. So
Mm.
it shows you how mature or skilled or um, confident they are and who they are.
Mhm.
So
And like Ripid said, I saw Ripid said, "And the butterflies." If they give it, how did she say it? The butterflies that they left you.
from
Like if
first initial, yes.
yeah, like the butterfly. Like when you see them, it's like, ooh.
Hmm. Like to me, you're right. If you're going to have the initial butterflies when you see them in a crowded room or at a gas station or at a club or something like that, wherever you
Uh-huh.
meet, roller rink or wherever. But that second date, when you see him and it's not in the evening, like in the nighttime, and uh, he walks up to you and your stomach, yes, you get that butterfly. That's a good thing too. If you get
Yep.
those, and if you get the butterfly, the most important is when they touch your hand or they say your name or that first kiss. If you don't get butterflies, there's nothing there. Their body's way of telling you there is absolutely nothing there.
Right.
That becomes a friend.
Mhm.
It could be a good
Yes.
friend, so don't toss them away. Talk to them first. If they meet all the rest of your requirements, like conversation, hygiene, and all, they could become a really good best friend.
Mhm.
So you don't
Yep.
ever want to throw anybody over right away because there might be another meaning why they're in your life.
Yep.
All right. What would be not like running for the doors, but finish your date, but make excuses if they tried to call you for another?
Well, there's a long list of that, but I would have to say, um, if you're sitting and eating and they talk with their mouth full, I hate that. I
Okay.
can't do nope. Ain't not happening. Sorry. If they try to order your food for you,
Mm,
I'm not. That's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Um, if they are too, how can I say it? Like too pushy, I
Okay.
guess. Like, wanting too much too soon type
Yep.
deal, I guess you could say. There's, I'll name three. Those are my top three.
Okay. I agree if all they're talking about is sex or trying to like skip to the dessert and you're still at the beginning of the date. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Um, I will finish out if they expect me to pick up the tab. Now,
Oh,
I always take my own money to pay my own, especially in the beginning of a relationship, because I want to just make it 50-50 from the
right,
beginning. Let them know that, yes, you can be the man, and if you want to pay, that's generous, but I have my own money and I'm okay going in half. But if they're
right,
sitting back expecting me to pay the bill and I look down, I'm going to let the guy know, divide this. It's 50-50. I got mine and
right.
and that'll be that's it. That's a one and done. I won't.
Oh,
And now, if they ask me, I do like that somebody will ask me, um, "Can I take? Do you are you do you want? Is it okay if I pay the bill, or do you want to split it?"
mm,
Or if they just try to take care of the bill, because then I
yeah,
get the right to sit there and say, "I got my half." And when they turn around and be like, "No, I've got this. I asked you out." But if I asked a guy out, then I expect him to let me pay if that's what I
right,
want. If I make the move and I asked you out, then it's on me to pay that bill. And I'll leave if a man's like a pig or a chauvinist and be like, no, men are supposed to pay. Well, I
yeah,
appreciate that, but you could just say, you know what? I know you invited me and I appreciate that, but I've got this. But don't sit there and, oh, you're a woman. I've got this.
right,
There won't be a third date. I'll let you pay, but you're not getting another date.
right.
Um, like I said, the kiss, if it's disgusting,
Mm,
or if the conversation is all about me, 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 me.
hmm.
I want you
Yeah,
to
you
talk about yourself, but not
right.
forget that
I
I'm
mean,
here with you.
right, you want to get to know each other, but there is a limit, like, to what you talk about. Like, it's not all about them, it's not all about you, it's about both of you.
Exactly. Michael, people will date you being a grandpa at 43.
Oh,
Trust
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And you're not the only one that became grandparents in your 40s. I did. My son married a woman who already had a child, and he is my grandson in all shape of the sense of the word. And I was 40. See, he's going to be 14. I was only 40. Let's see. 20. He was, yeah, I was only 40. He was 19. She was 2 years older than
Mhm.
him and had a child already. So, or no, I was 42. I'm sorry. He was 22. She was
Mm.
23. So, yeah. And Blue Eyes is about to be a new grandma for the first time in 5 months.
Oh,
There's
that's
women,
sweet.
but you
Now
can't
let
keep your guard up
yeah,
thinking nobody wants you. That's why, because people can feel that
right.
energy and they're like, damn, he don't even have
Mhm.
confidence and want to be with anybody. Why would we look at him? Walk with confidence. Listen to
Right.
what we're saying. We want a man that's confident, that walks into a room and he's not cocky, but he can own it and he knows it. He owns his little
Yeah.
part of the universe.
Yes. And
So,
just because you don't have tattoos, Michael, doesn't mean you can't get a girl either. I mean, believe me, there's women that don't like tattoos and there's women that do. It's just one of those things.
oh, well, congratulations, Blue Eyes. That's right. I congratulated when she came 5 months ago. Michael,
Oh,
when me and Tim got together, he was 27 years old and didn't have one tattoo, and I already had, I think, 7 or 8. That man never put a tattoo on his body, and I
mhm.
still found him the sexiest man in that club when I walked in.
Yeah.
and our eyes met. I knew
No.
who he was to me at that moment. So tattoos don't make a man
No.
sexy.
No.
It's how you carry yourself.
Hmm. I've
So
seen men with tattoos and they're just no.
gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Um,
guys who just put tattoos that are so common that you've seen them 100 times on other people.
yes.
When you do a tattoo, create it yourself, make it yourself. Even if you see a tattoo you like in one of the artist's books, change it up to make it about you, your personality, not somebody else's personality. So, but yes,
Mm,
tattoos do not make the man. The
no.
man makes the man.
Yes.
Well, if you know what, if you like that tribal tat, make it your own and get one.
Yeah.
But a tattoo's not going to bring you a woman. Now, you might meet a woman in the tattoo shop that you normally wouldn't have met, that you're supposed to meet by going in and looking. So it's not about being a tattoo or having one. It's just that you were at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
So, all right, Micah, what would force you to run? Two big things that would make you run as fast as you can away from a date.
Are we talking about any date or like a first date or
Any date, you could be
just
on the
any date?
second date, you could be on the eighth date. Hey, Sunflower.
Hey, sunflower. Uh, let's see. I would have to go. Let's see. I'd have to go to my one that I said earlier. It would make me run if somebody tried to order my food for me, try to like
Right.
basically tell me how to eat.
Right. Especially if they were ordering steak and you got a salad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that and um, if the I don't know, I can't think of another one
Okay.
right
Well, why
offhand.
you well, why you think about it? For me, all they want to talk about is their ex or their mommy.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, that's a good one.
Um, or we're out and I see him pointing out, oh, he's a good looking dude. Oh, yeah. What do you think about that dude? If he's eyeballing other dudes to get my opinion, that's a
Right.
red flag.
Yes,
I will not compete
right.
with my date for a man.
Or if they're checking out other chicks. Now that will make me
Yes.
go the other way too. Like, don't
Yeah.
be when I'm sitting in front of you, don't be
Looking over my shoulder or keep turning
yeah,
your head to the right as they walk by, and I'll be like, hey, what are you looking at?
yeah,
You know, oh, I'm not looking at nothing. Sure, you're not. Or the first time you're intimate with them and they are awkward, clumsy, or they're all about themselves, too rushed, too fast, too aggressive. And if you try to say, ow, or you don't like that, and they ignore you, it's like, all
mhm,
right, I hope, you're not even finishing, bud.
right,
I'll take these long legs and I'm going to wrap them around your neck and I'm going to throw your ass over. And you're going to be thinking you're going to be getting some kind of job, but the only job you're getting is your ass kicked to out the front door.
right.
So that's mine, that it will never happen again.
Yeah,
I do not want to hear about your mommy cooks this better, or your mommy could do this better, or your ex did this better,
mhm. Or I
or they
live with
ask you. Yes.
I live with my mom or my parents.
Now,
Yeah,
if they tell me, you know, I do live with a family member, but I'm the one I'm their their
right.
caregiver, this and that. And I meet them and I find out it's true and not just living with them because, and that's another thing. If you ain't got a job, if you're not even trying, you're just sitting at
Uh-huh.
home expecting others because you're living at home because you don't have a job.
Right.
If you're
Yeah.
working at McDonald's and you're putting in your 40 hours and you're trying to
Right.
bust your ass, hey, and you have goals,
Mhm.
I can be with you. It's the beginning of a
Yeah.
relationship. But if you have no goals,
Right.
no motivation to be better, Um, no, I'm not looking to raise another mom's like even if I'm single, I'm not about
Right.
to raise you so your mom's free and clear. No.
Right.
If your mom didn't raise you
Exactly.
properly, it's not my job.
Right.
So, hey Dan,
Hey,
brother.
Dan and Amy.
Oh yeah, Amy. Well, she's probably sleeping.
uh,
They got to get on the same schedule. It seems like.
yeah.
But yes, definitely. If they're talking about their ex, that was one of mine. That conversation starts stirring to their ex. Well, my ex didn't dress like that, or my
Hmm.
ex used that, or my ex likes this. You should try this. Bitch,
Right.
I'm not your ex. Why would I want to look or smell like her?
Hmm. Or too, there's another one. If you're in a conversation, or you're just getting to know each other or whatever, and you find out that they're married or in another relationship.
Yeah. Hey, Coco Pop. Hey, prison politics.
Hey, Coco. Hey, prison.
I agree with that too. Um, what you just said
Uh,
is they lie to you and you find out and you really like them and you're with them. And then they're like, oh, well, I am married, but, you know, uh, she doesn't understand me.
mhm.
Uh, I can understand if you say we're separated and you can prove you're separated, heading for divorce. That's one thing.
Right.
It's still a little suspect, but like I said, everybody knows how me and Tim met, and he was living in the barracks and
Right.
showed me divorce papers where he had already been to an attorney. So if they can't prove to you that they're still living and you're not able to go to the house and or go to his place and hang out, and because he makes excuses, there's a hint reason why you can't ever go meet him and be with him.
Right. Yeah. That, or if they want you to meet their family like on after like first time you've met, or the first after the first date. I'm not big
Yeah,
on that.
I don't understand that. Now, I will say, Tim told everybody the first night he met me, before I'd even when he saw me walk in, before he'd even talked to me, he had told his friends that he had just saw his wife, his future wife.
Hmm.
Off of me, just the way I carried myself, he said, with the confidence and walking in. He already knew. He said he felt it instantly. But on a whole, hey Brian, somebody does that to me, it's like that's a red flag.
Hmm.
And I thought
Oh,
he was just full of shit. So, but he had all the other qualifications. So I thought he was just teasing, and it was just fun and games. You know what I mean? And he
uh-huh.
didn't tell me that. His buddies did. Or if he would have said it that first night, I'd have ran.
Hmm.
So instead, he waited a whole week.
At least he gave you a week.
Yeah. Or you go on a date and then their girlfriend or their wife pops up and slides
Yeah.
in like, oh, she is what you said. No, no, I don't want to be in a polygamous relationship.
Right.
Now, I guess if you do, then of course that would work perfectly for you guys. But for me, I'm just about, you know, one on one.
Right.
I'm sorry. Especially, if I'm making love to somebody or I'm having sex with somebody, I want to give my all to that person, and I expect them to give me their attention and their energy.
Right.
Because if I'm going in 150%, I expect 150% back.
Exactly.
So I don't want to sit there and just have somebody talking and no, I'm sorry. I like sausage. I don't like tuna fish.
Right.
So, and there's people who like tuna fish and don't like sausage. And
Right.
that is perfectly normal. And then there's people who like sausage and they like sausage. And that's okay if they're only about sausage. But
Hmm.
I don't want to share and intermix it.
No.
I'm a
If
one
I'm with
sex person.
Yes, if I'm with that person, that's the only person I'm with, and I expect it to be the same. I don't I don't share. I'm not a very sharing person. Hey, Brian.
let me know, Victoria. I got your message. So, and let's see. What else do you think would make you run?
Well, it wouldn't make me run, but it's kind of a turn off is men or guys that dip or chew, like chewing tobacco. I'm
Okay.
not big on that. That's a big turn off for me, just because I don't want to be kissing on somebody that's like got dip in their mouth or that's got, you know, I'm just no.
Oh, I get
That's
you.
yeah,
I don't like to kiss a guy. I don't like people, Tim is a smoker, but he even knows, even after 27 years, he comes in from smoking. If he wants a kiss, he brushes his teeth or he mouthwash. It's at the kitchen sink. He knows. As soon as he comes in from outside through the garage front or back, comes
right.
in, and I know what is on his mind because I'll watch him. Either he's coming in to go to the bathroom and going back outside to finish up, or he as soon as he comes in, I can hear the water running in the sink, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
So, he's got something on his mind.
No.
So, hey, Kay, how's it going?
Okay. Yeah, that's just always been one of my quirks ever since I was younger and like the dip thing was like big or whatever. I guess you
Right?
could say like the big thing to do. I don't know. I just now smoking it doesn't bother me. I think it's where I used to smoke, but the smoking doesn't bother me, but the dipping and chewing tobacco, as they say.
I think it's more like because I've never smoked
No,
or anything. So for me, because I don't smoke and I don't do anything, it's just that taste in my mouth. I
no.
just, uh, I can't. So,
Mm.
uh, all right, then go ahead and Meg or Victoria, take care of it, please. Well, I appreciate that, Kay, for the support and showing in.
No.
So there's a Roland.
Rolling, rolling,
So,
rolling.
and Maka, somebody said this. I don't know if that's true, but
I was thinking the same thing,
okay.
but
Hey,
I'm not
Paula.
100%. Hey, Paula. Not 100% though. That's
Yeah, they say they are sure.
okay.
So,
I will add then.
so that's why I told them go ahead if they're sure. Only because
Yeah.
it's been in Tim's, I guess.
Yeah.
And things said, Meg said she checked. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I trust you guys. Meg, Victoria, take
Yeah.
care of what you got to take care of. So
Do your thing, ladies.
do your thing. Do what you want to do. I'm not going to the store for you, Dan, because if I go to the store for you, I'm keeping it. So you tell me what you want. Oh, and I just had White Castles, Dan. I took some out of the freezer yesterday.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Are you guys close to a White Castles?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So you get
Yeah.
to go anytime you want.
Yeah. We actually ours is right in front of Walmart, like right in the same parking lot as Walmart.
And Nashville, that's where it is where my mom, where we always go. She's like, okay, we're going to go to Walmart's and then where do you want to eat? And I look at her and she's like, I know, I know. So she knows if I'm coming in advance, she doesn't go to White Castles for a while because she knows I'm going to go that night and then I'm buying a case. I'm filling up her refrigerator. And even though she don't like to eat after a certain hour at night, she knows if I have them in there, she's going to go and she's going to just know that they're there and she's going to eat. So, and that's true. If he sends Amy, she just disappears for hours.
Oh,
No,
I
that
said
ain't heartless.
I gotta side with Amy on that because I do the same thing. So
See, I can't. That's why I shop online for everything. that I need. And then if I have to go to uh, the store, I know exactly what I want. And
Mhm.
I usually do it when I have Jackson because I know he has he knows what every layout in that store, and he'll point to me and tell me where we're supposed to go. He knows I
Alright.
always go over to like where the baby bubbles and the colored mousse body wash for him is for kids,
Right.
and the crayons, the washable crayons for the bathtub. So he knows there. And then he knows we go straight out to the back garden part. Like if I need salt or anything, he'll just ask because it's straight to the toy department for him to pick a toy. And then he knows we're going to go. And I might look for a few minutes at a few things, but then he's just looking at me and he lets me know, no, let's go. And it's over to the grocery aisle. And he knows exactly where we got to go. He knows, okay, where we start. And if we go a different way, he'll shake his head and he'll tell me, no. And he'll tell me where I'm supposed to go. So yes, he does got me trained well. And no matter where we're at, when I get him from his dad's, um, I'll be like, where do you want to go? And he'll let me know, or we're either going to go to Pizza Hut if we're going to the outdoor water park that they have there, even though he's got
Yeah.
the pool here. Some days he wants to go, some days he'd rather just, but then it's to Walmart's. And then when we're done, he can tell you the directions to my house, just like
Uh,
that.
oh my
So
gosh.
he does have, yeah, I'm trained. I know exactly, he gets whatever he wants. So I'll be broke if he ever gets to we ever go to Disneyland. Oh my goodness. He'll be
Oh,
wanting, it'll be like, all right, yes, you can have this. Yes, I'll pay to have your pictures taken here. Or, yes, you can do this.
you're gonna have to set up a separate fund for that. Have you a little savings, like a savings account set up for that time?
Well, where do you think all Tim's money? He always is joking. He ain't, it's like, don't forget to clean out your pockets, oh man. If they end up in the washing machine, I check your pockets, man. I find all kinds of good oldies in his pocket.
Right.
He'll forget and he'll shove a 20, or he might have 100 in there, or he's got change. It all goes to Jackson. Why do they keep taking your comments, Dan? I've seen a couple of them,
Yeah. I heard that
but
they're being a little finicky right now.
I've heard that too. I've heard a couple people say that their comments are being. See, Disney does cost and it's very liberal, but
Yeah.
because I think all kids, just when they're young enough to understand, when they do like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and stuff, one
Yeah.
day take them there. But I want to do the Disney cruise.
They say those are fun.
Yeah. It's just I don't want to leave them. They're like, hey, drop your kids off and you guys go hang out on the adult side. I wonder how many kids would be accosted by employees or things in that nature. Now they
Right.
say there's cameras and multiple, but you never know.
No. I
So,
mean, look at what had hasn't there been like two people that's vanished on cruises here in the past
yep,
couple of years?
yeah.
Mm.
So even that 20-year-old daughter, where her family, they saw her out on the balcony with her brother. They say they're going to go to bed. She's finishing her cigarette. Next thing you know, they wake up a couple hours later and she's gone. And they never found her.
Man,
Will you buy me an M1 talk?
Tank.
Yeah, I'll get you that tank there. Yeah. I have all those Disney VHS tapes, Blue Eyes, from my kids. I saved them from my grandbabies. My son's like, I don't want those bulky tapes. I got DVDs. And then it's like, I don't even need DVDs. I've got um, Netflix and shit. And I'm like, it's about collecting. I don't need all those. So Jackson's got them all, boxes of them.
No. I mean, you remember when those, what was it? Is it the golden or the silver? Like they used to be worth a bunch.
Yeah, there's supposedly if you get the golden star on the original ones, and
Oh,
then I haven't even checked to see if I have any with those markings on there.
mhm,
So, but to me, it was just the movies, and we played because I got him a. They had a sale a couple years before he was born on VCR DVD players. I bought
mm.
like four of them suckers. They were on sale for like $39.
Oh, man.
So I bought like four of them for all my grandkids to have that they the parents could put in their room and they could watch their new movies, but they could also have the VCR movies. I was going to divide them between all the kids.
Right.
And well, when Jackson got them all, we set it up in his room and he still has it. And I put in The Lion King and we were watching it, and it's the case being wrapped up and up in the attic for so long. There's some a little warping, but the tapes are completely sealed. Those containers that the Disney movies used to come in are amazing,
Mhm.
and it's just it was good to see it. But then you watch normal TV and the color.
Yeah.
It was like I felt like how our grandparents felt when they used to watch in black and white and color TV appeared.
Yeah.
So it's crazy the colors.
Oh, yeah. And they make it look so real. I mean, like those Pixar and all them. I mean, they look like 3D or like, humans.
Yeah.
It's
Did you
wild.
watch the new Lion King?
Yes.
That was so. I'm looking at the VCR version we had from the 80s
Hmm.
and then, or 90s, and then I'm looking at this new one. Holy cow.
Yeah.
It was like you were right there on the plains with them.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved it. They done really good. I was happy how they redone that.
Yes,
I was
it was.
worried at first.
Yeah. Well, look at what they did to Little Mermaid. That turned into an opera production that was so. No,
Yeah.
it was wrong. I didn't
No.
like how they did it. Half animation, half human. No, no.
No.
But Lion King was done the right way.
Yeah.
So that's how it's supposed to be done.
Well.
So, all right. And you see, we let the chat take us everywhere and we started talking Disney. That is true, Blue Eyes. If power goes out, I've got plenty of DVDs uh, uh, and we got him a portable, like a little car DVD player
Oh, yeah.
and his tablets. We got two, a backup one from Walmart's, and then we've got his good one so that if one runs out of power and we don't have power to charge it, of course we have our generators, but if it did and I didn't have the generators up, that one ran out, I got the next tablet. And then he's got his backup DVD player portable. So we're good. That's right, Dan.
Heck yeah, Dan.
So thought I did a pretty good video today on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
like that.
Megan Kelly was a never Trumper. She used to do her live on Fox, and well, his rhetoric, and I mean, she
Mm.
just was a never him whatsoever. Now she's like, I will be one of those that walk over broken glass to pull that lever for him, and I'm like, damn, Gina.
No.
But did you guys hear the latest? You know,
Uh,
there's been rumors after um, uh, the debate that they should get him out, right?
uh-huh.
He was supposed to go live and talk about what happened.
Right.
Now he's been diagnosed with just randomly COVID. Nobody else has come down with it, but he's got COVID, guys, even though he hasn't left the White House. This is either a move because they've only got 2.5 weeks before their convention. And once it's
Right.
locked in, they can't change the nomination. This is
Uh-huh.
either the way to remove him and
Yep.
insert somebody, or it's to give him an excuse so he doesn't go out there and fumble what really happened and slip and say something about what happened with the Secret Service and all the security details.
Yep. Hey, Tattoo.
How you doing,
Tattoo's taking
teardrops?
notes.
Uh-oh. So he been listening in the shadows, seeing how he knows how to keep his woman. Yeah, we saw him, but that's how he always does, and that's what they're using now. So that COVID's going to be one of two reasons. One, so he keeps his mouth shut and doesn't fumble
Yeah.
what he was going to say and tell what really was the plan, or this is what they're going to use.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even realize that they'll just have to tell him he has it and that that he's got these symptoms, and he's so old and senile he'd believe it anyways.
Oh, yeah.
So
Have you seen Trump's new security team?
no.
Have you watched the RNC, any of it?
I saw, but I haven't really saw the security team because all I saw was, man, I almost welled up tears when he walked in that first night unexpected, and the loud noise. They wouldn't even
No.
let me hear how you had Rubio, Nikki Haley, and Senator Cruz up there, united behind him.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to hear their speeches, and yeah.
I found, I'll post it in the back chat for you. I found a YouTube channel that plays every bit of it, like the whole thing, like all the talking and everything. Like you get to see there's no breaks or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. So what was his
Put it in the back
security
chat.
team? Because tonight his Vance gets to speak.
Yeah, well, his security team is a little more on point, so to speak. Uh, you'll
Okay.
you'll have to go see. I'll just say that you'll have to go see.
Oh yeah,
They're
I'm
pretty on
watching
point.
tonight because the only problem is like I said, I have heard good things about JD Vance, and Menace said that's his senator, but I think he should have went a different direction. One, I think a woman would have been a really good pick for him.
Yeah.
I think Marsha Blackburn. I think Kristi Noem. I think that ex Hawaii senator who used to be a Dem and crossed over, the
Yeah.
Hawaiian one.
Yeah.
I also think that that Krista's, what is her name? The one who, the black Stephanie something that was part of his impeachment hearing. I can't remember her name. She had black hair. She was at
Yeah.
the RNC last night behind him or next to him.
No.
She'd have been a good running mate too. JD, I think he's a little young still. And yes, he's a
No.
Trumper. Always been. Um, I don't know. I just think that he's an unknown
Oh.
to all. Now he's a younger
Yeah.
one. Yes, Tim Scott would have been good too. The only problem with Tim Scott though is he was a Trumper, and then he wanted to run, and it was all distance from Trump, and then back. And I would never trust. Now I love him for the governor of Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, can't even think of his name now.
If you hadn't have said it, I could have, because it was like right there. And as soon as you
Yep.
said Florida, it
DeSantis.
went, DeSantis. Yeah.
I always liked him. I'd have thought he'd have been a good president. I thought he'd be a good vice president. But after what he did to try to distance himself and slam Trump to get himself higher up, you lost me there. But Jason Chaffetz would have been a good one too.
Mm.
And did you guys see the former Mike Pompeo? Remember how big Mike Pompeo was when he was in Trump's administration? He is skinny. Hey JM, how you doing? He don't even look like Mike Pompeo anymore.
Oh.
If I didn't hear him speak and have his name coming across this, I was like, who is this? They're like, yeah, we're going to be talking to Mike Pompeo. And there's like, I'm hearing him and I'm like, where the hell's Mike Pompeo? He's half the man that he was. He don't even look like him anymore. It is so crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, JM.
So I am anxious to see, of course, Daddy's home. I am anxious to see what tonight. I'm going to let you talk for a few minutes.
Okay. It's going to be pretty interesting from here, well, on out until November. I think it'll even be interesting after November, honestly. What are y'all's thoughts on something on y'all are crazy. Now, I don't know about that tattoo, that Whoopi Goldberg. I don't know about that.
Okay. Sorry, Daddy got home a little late. He went and got dinner first, and he wasn't going to. So I am anxious to see tomorrow when Trump actually gets up.
Yeah.
That's going to be the speech that I'm looking forward to. Um, Maya, go in there and say hi to him instead of barking for him. He's not your maid. He's not going to come chase you down. Will Ferrell for VP. I just
No.
think now JD Vance could be good because he's going to have the younger vote, but if he doesn't know how to communicate, now he's got the military background, he's got the younger vote going for him. He's got a lot of positives, but he also is still. It was like when he picked Mike Pence out of the barrel because Paul Ryan told him he had to if they wanted the support.
Well,
Nobody really knew Mike Pence, and it was a bad choice.
yeah.
He should have picked somebody with recognition that has been involved, that has been true blue to the cause and put America first, and is not too far this way or too far that way, but a straight shooter, but somebody that has name recognition.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you want someone that's like out there and notice when you get what do you call them? I want to say green, somebody that's green. You don't really,
yes,
that nobody knows. You don't really want to put them out in such a big position.
yep. But I want to see how he does tonight. But the biggest to find out if he picked the right choice is when the VPs, him and Kamala Harris, go at it as the debate for the VPs.
Yeah.
If he can't beat her, when I think any 5-year-old could beat her in a debate,
Mm,
that'll be a big sign for me. Is if they get to debate, I want to see,
yeah.
because he doesn't have the foreign policy. She's going to try to claim that she's got, but it's like all she's got to put back is, where have you been? Aren't your only job the border and nobody has seen you? So there's a couple ways he could attack her and win, and just drop mics like what Trump did with Biden. But
Right.
I liked how he handled Hillary, like when he said, yeah, you're right, because if I would have been, you'd be in jail. So, but I gave up politics after what happened in 2020. I was done, or
Yeah.
2019. I said, no more news, no more. I'm not
Yeah.
watching any of it. And when he finally came and said, yes, I am definitely running again, something about that man brings me right into it, and I can't help
Yeah.
it. He makes politics enjoyable.
Yeah.
He makes it
And I mean,
exciting and fresh.
I know a lot of people don't like him because he speaks his mind, so to speak. I guess you could say that
Yeah,
way. He don't care how he speaks. Like he is who he is, and I like that. Like I like somebody that doesn't try to pretend to be one way or try to let people make them perceive themselves as somebody else.
exactly. And you know what? I'm sorry. All those men, oh, how offensive that he talked to another man about a woman's crotch like that.
Oh
Oh,
God.
get over yourself. Us women in a locker room talk worse than what Trump did with another man. We talk
Right.
worse about men.
Right.
You old prudes, you know damn well it's because you probably ain't had no dick in your damn life and been digged down properly. That's why you don't talk about it if you're that offended what he said.
Right.
And I'm sorry, he's rich men. There are hoochies that will gladly walk up and say, here,
Uh-huh.
grab me by the crotch for
Yep.
some of your money. I mean, come
Mhm.
on. He isn't lying. There's
No.
probably women that did come up to him and say, "Grab me. Here, you
Mhm.
got 3 fingers. I got 3 hands. Here, plug me up."
Yeah.
People are stupid not to think that.
Yeah.
And
I
I'd
mean,
rather have somebody who talks offensively but
uh-huh.
puts the American people first.
Yes. Well, I like it because he wasn't a politician.
Yep.
You know, he's a regular person. I mean, besides being, all the money and stuff, but I mean, he's just a person. He's not
Mm.
had never had anything to do with politicians, and I mean, it
Do
just
you know what hurt him? He listened to old Fauci. He listened to
uh-huh.
the rhinos who already had a plan to get rid of him. They told him Fauci was the one, even though Fauci predicted that Trump was going to go through a major virus,
Mhm.
within his first term. It was a
Right.
setup. They
Mm,
handpicked for him to follow experts that were going to be set to destroy him from within.
mhm.
He trusted too many when he already knew looking from the outside in that he couldn't trust. And he let those in the inside get rid of the outsiders. When he lost Steve Bannon, and I'm sorry, when he trusted his son in law, Jared Kushner,
Uh,
tiptoe through the dandelion twinkle booty. Um, Everything has to be about, we have to talk it out. We can't show force. I'll show you some force, little boy.
right.
you
Yeah.
know, he was listening to the wrong people. And I hope
Mm,
this time he goes in and he burns it all to the ground.
yep.
He needs to end the FBI. It needs to start where the FBI is completely shut. It's gone, and rebuild it. You can recall it the FBI. You can call it something else, but you build it up and you put people that are integrity, and you do not let it be about people that get in there and they never get out.
Right.
That way, there is no more of this secret. We know there's
Mhm.
an underground network in the FBI and the CIA and all those that are working with prior presidents. But he needs
Yeah.
to start day one dismantling the FBI,
Yeah.
period, and CIA.
What was it
Dismantle
that
them.
he said? Clear the swamp. He's gonna have
Yes.
to do all of that all over again.
And I think that's why they had to get rid of him, because the first term was getting the country back on track.
Mhm.
The second term was going to be dismantling what he planned. Now, technically, the Constitution says no sitting president, can have more than one back to back term. So, meaning he couldn't, if he ran and did 2 terms, 2 consecutive presidencies, 8 years, he couldn't run
Yeah.
again.
Mm,
Trump ran, but he didn't win. So, technically, he could do and run for 2 more terms. But let's be real. I
yes.
honestly don't think he's going to after this. This one was to get in
Yeah.
and I think put right the wrong that happened 4 years ago, to straighten out the country one more time for all
Yeah.
of us, so that we don't let the mistake happen again. He's going to be like, look, pay attention. I'm going to do this one more time for you. This is all I got left to
Right.
give you. Fix
Mhm.
it, set us up on the right course, and maybe do what he was going to do the first time. He
Yep.
has nothing to lose this time.
Right.
They've tried to put him in jail. They've tried to accuse him. They've tried to impeach him. They've tried to shoot him, or they did shoot him, but they tried to wipe him. They've
Yeah.
done everything. He doesn't owe allegiance to any of them anymore.
No.
So, just to his family, himself, and the American people. And he
Mhm.
proved he was about us. I don't care about his rhetoric.
Right.
I know they quit doing nuke scares, so Hawaii wasn't scared the 4 years that Trump was in. I
Yeah.
know the Soviet Union, Russia didn't try to invade countries that weren't theirs anymore. I know there was almost peace in the Middle East. I
Mm,
know that South Korea and North Korea were talking,
yep.
that they haven't done since.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at the GDP. I'm looking at the stock market. I'm looking at a bunch of stuff that was going on back then. And then I watch Biden dismantled everything within the
Yep.
first 6 months.
Mhm.
I had to special order a car and wait a year
Yep.
before Biden was president. Even when Obama was president, I could go into a dealership and get the car that I wanted at any given time. Now we're all waiting and special ordering our cars and having to
Mhm.
pay deposits in order to get a car built that we want.
I mean, it's hard enough to, I mean, the interest rates on them, and then from what I'm hearing, a lot of the newer cars, like a brand new car, you got to be careful with because like they're not put together right, or there's like all these recalls, and
Yep.
it's just crazy.
Chip shortages. And that was the biggest thing is, do you know that to get the car that you wanted, that's why that was so wait, because you, like, let's say somebody wants a Stingray but they only want the L1 or the C1.
Mm.
You're not getting it.
Right.
They're only getting so many parts at so many times, the chips and everything, so that they're doing okay. We're only working on last year it was the Stingrays, L1s, and the CS and this, and but you can't get all of them.
No.
I could walk into 4 years ago. I could walk into any dealership and there would be at least 2 to 3 Corvettes, a couple Camaros, any kind of V8s that you were looking for, trucks, everything.
No.
Now they were pushing all that you were able to get your hands on in the last 4 years were trucks and SUVs because nobody wanted them because gas prices were so
Yeah.
high.
Oh, yeah.
Find a car that you wanted that wasn't already used and was exactly everything that you wanted.
Yep. Oh, I dread when we go to look at cars and stuff. Which I've always hated going to car lots and wheeling and dealing and all that crap. But I'm hoping that when he gets in, that that'll start at least like 6 months in, everything will start going back to the way it was and can actually go and purchase things or sell things and get something out of them.
Yeah. If you guys don't have to buy a new car until, let's say, he does get in, because the lowest interest rates for even new vehicles is starting at 6%. There is
Yep.
no more 0% with so much down or 0% with good credit. It isn't like getting a car at 1.9 with, or you can do the 1.9 at 60 months, or you can do a 3-year loan at this. Oh, no, no. When I got my last Corvette, I got it with, I think, 3%, 3.9%, but I also got 120-day delay payment or no payments
Right.
for 120 or 160 days. It was 4 or 5 months. There was no payments on
Yep.
your car, too.
Yep.
Now you're not, and now trying to get all the warranties and hell, look at okay OnStar. I remember getting a year free. Then it went to 6 months. Now you get 30 days.
Hmm.
30 days of OnStar, free
Oh, yeah.
Wi-Fi and all that. And it's like
Yeah.
this much of a
Hey,
car and
Ricky.
I'm getting 30 days. Hey, Ricky.
Yep.
So wait, but I will tell you this. If you do buy a car like I did, even like my finance manager told me, they know the rates are going to be dropping, especially
Right.
after the elections. And when it does, because of where I'm at, I've already been told, even the bank told me, come back in and we're going to refinance you.
Well,
As soon
well,
as
that's
those
like
rates.
house interest rates on houses. I mean, when we bought ours, I think it was 3.5. And now, I mean, isn't it up like 7 or 8?
Yep.
Am I
I
thinking
think
that
it's
right?
the
It's
lowest
somewhere
is
up in
like
there.
6.9, I think it is. You're right,
Yeah.
Teardrop. It's going to take them a while, but I don't think it'll be as long as what people think because it didn't take him long to fix Obama's mess ups.
Yeah.
Because of the show of strength that he had, just think we started seeing an uptick from the moment he got elected. All of a sudden, things just started moving, and it was
Uh,
slow at first, but by June of his first 6 months, Look at where we were at.
No. Yeah,
So
I'd say probably about 6 months to a year, and I see things start to slowly come back like they were.
yeah. I pray he takes the paycheck though, because that man was told to pay back fees to a bank that the
Hmm,
bank even testified that he never did anything, that he paid it back with interest early. And now he's still being ordered millions of dollars to pay back a loan that wasn't even that much.
Golden, you got you a Huffy.
He
He
got his
said he
new
put his
tires and brakes on
brakes.
his.
Yeah, you would be. I mean, it would be better to go horseback, Blue.
Yeah. But look at houses too. Like, yeah, if you live in a house, your equity just skyrocketed. It's worth double for a lot of
Mm,
people. The problem
mm,
is you go get a house and want a new house. Think about your equity doubled. Well, so did theirs.
yeah,
And the reason why the South is a lot cheaper than up north, let's be real, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, we're self sufficient. We have
yeah,
oil, we have seafood, we have cattle. We do not need the rest of the United States. So our cost of living is cheaper. We didn't have all the shutdowns with COVID that everybody else did.
no,
Um, we didn't have the gas prices even under this administration that a lot of people up north had. So
no,
yes, our prices are cheaper to live down here. So jobs, you don't need to make as much money. So we're not looking at our McDonald's getting ran by robots, you know. But now a house down here with, I think, 2 acres, 4 bedrooms, they're wanting almost $350,000. On
no.
originally would have been 2 to 220.
Mhm.
So when people say, "Oh, the South," it's because it's cheap to live down there because it sucks. No, it's cheaper to live
No,
in the South because we're self sufficient.
no,
We have our own seafood, we have our own cattle, we have our own oil wells. We don't need Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, um, the Panhandle. We have
no.
all we need. And if the South
Right,
ever did separate, we wouldn't need, because we supply a lot of the North, a lot of the stuff that are goods. Now, Rhode Island, Maine, Connecticut, all of them up there with the seafood too, like the crab, the lobster,
right,
stuff like that. They're pretty independent too, but not, their prices are still sky high up there because they're not as independent as we are down here.
right.
So,
Yeah, that's our house. Let's see. I think like it estimated. I think it was like 120, wasn't it? 120, 125, honey. 120, 220. Well, no, it was 120, and now it's up to 225. Is like what they, because of properties around here where we had a lot of people sell their places, and others came in, and when they started doing the, what do you call it, where they go in and like do the estimates on the houses or whatever, and it
right.
brought up
Yep.
the prices of everything.
Yep. And, for us, it hurt in the South because after all over, whenever there's a natural disaster, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, fires, these
Mm,
realtors go in, and these companies, they come in and they buy all these houses and
yep.
they turn them around for rental property. So trying to find
Mhm.
a house to buy, or to, they're charging arm and legs because people that are
Yeah.
desperate and need some place to live will pay those prices.
Mhm.
Those are the people that are encouraged under this economy, under this administration.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like
So,
rent. We lived in an apartment. It was a one-bedroom apartment. I think like 750 square feet, I think is what it was. And rent, utilities, like everything was all in one. It was like 525 a month. Now, I looked it up here. It's probably been about a month or two ago, and it's up to like 925 a month now.
wow.
But of course, that's been almost what 10, 11, somewhere around in there years ago. But still, like that's just for that many square footage. Like it's just crazy.
I remember when me and Tim first got together, and it was a townhome in an apartment complex, but they were townhomes,
Hmm.
two-story little, well, duplexes, I guess you could call them. It was 375, and there was a pool in the community too.
Yeah.
So it's crazy what rent has, how it's progressed and gotten higher. But if you think
Yeah.
about, even when Trump was president, our interest rates
Yeah.
were so low. Um, there were a lot of times where when you first buy a home, most people get a 30-year mortgage guaranteed.
Yeah.
And interest rates under Trump went down. You could get 1.9 if you
Hmm.
refinance for 30 years,
Yeah.
right? Or let me take my dog down. Don't let me lose it. Tim, are you getting him down? Okay. Or you could lower yours and pay 2.5. Now, I've
Yeah.
heard a couple people in the community, they refinanced and redid it 30 to get a 2.9. After saying that they had a 1.9, they finally admitted it was 2.9, like I had been
Sure.
saying all along.
Right.
The smart thing to do is when you refinance is you refinance to get a better rate, but you also do it. I went from a 30 to a 15.
Right.
I knocked off 8 years off of our mortgage
Yeah.
like that
Hmm.
and lowered my interest rate on top of it.
Yep.
Why would you refinance to go up, back
Nope.
up to a 30-year mortgage? That doesn't make
No.
sense. And you're like, oh, I'm saving because my interest rate dropped. No, you're not,
No.
because you just extended your loan back to where it was originally. You just added time. So they're still
Yeah.
getting the same amount of money out of you. People don't think about this crap. I
Hmm.
love thinking about money and what to do with it and how you need to invest it and stuff like that. So I'm telling you, you refinance, your house payment might go up, but
Yep.
your interest that you're going to pay on it goes down. So you go for the lower years. You don't
Mhm.
take money out. Now, if you definitely need it, of course.
Right.
But if you can do refinance without taking money out and get a better interest rate than what you already had, I don't care if it's 1%, but you
Right.
knock off 3, 5, 10 years off your mortgage.
Right.
That's where is good sense. If you refinance to stay at 30 years, you are a freaking idiot. I don't
Yeah.
care if you had a 5%, you went down to a 2.9 or a 2.5, you're still an idiot because you went back up to 30 after you already paid on it a couple years.
Yep.
So your payment might have dropped, your interest might have dropped, but they're going to get that money back in the next few years
Hmm.
that you added back to your mortgage.
Yeah.
That's what's so crazy.
I always, like on for our mortgage, I always pay extra every month
Yep.
and like have them put it onto the principal,
Yep. And
and
look,
that's helped a lot.
it does. Like a car payment doing that too. And if, let's say, you win $1 million, some people like, oh, you got to invest it. Okay, well, here's how you invest it. You pay off all your bills.
Hmm.
So everything you have is now an investment. Anything you
Yep.
get for your car, your home, that's your investment. That's your money. It's growing interest for you basically right underneath you. Because if it's
Yeah.
paid off for, you don't owe anything. So every time you want to sell it, guess what? Anything that you make above and the extra that you already paid for, you'd have made a profit. Let's say you bought your house when Trump was in for 130,000. Now your house is worth 230,000. You
Hmm.
sell it for 230,000, you just had an investment of
Yep.
$100,000.
Yep.
So you put that $100,000 in the damn next house to pay it off. And that's where your investment is. Don't trust the
Yep.
bank. And
No.
investing isn't even safe because I don't care if it's crypto or not. Do you see how that shit goes down and run your
Uh-huh.
money out the damn water? Why be
Yeah.
risky when you can have it right in your investments right there? And all the money you're saving because you don't have a house payment, a car payment, credit cards, or
Mhm.
anything like that, that's all money you could be putting up in the account, your savings account, or investments either. Anyways,
Oh.
you win $1 million, don't put it in the damn bank thinking, oh, I'm going to
No.
invest it. You are investing it. Take care of, pay off what you have, and use that money for investments because
Mm.
in the long run, it's going to be more.
Oh yeah.
So, but eggs for 18 is $3. Man, that's funny. People can get a damn $3 chicken and get free eggs all they want.
Mm. That's our some people behind us. They've set them up a chicken coop, and they
Hey,
have
Nola.
I think like 4 chickens and a rooster, and they go out there every day and go out there and grab some eggs, and you see them walking back up to their house. Like, hey, hey, Nola.
They are talking about that 2 bags or 3 bags of groceries. You go to Walmart's or
Hmm.
even the commissary now. I was
Yep.
used that for $600, I would have a truck inside and the bed of Tim's truck full of groceries.
No.
I would fill both my freezers and my refrigerator up.
Hmm.
Now I will spend $600 and I might have 7, 8 bags.
Yep.
And
Well,
it's not
that's.
even that the meat that's the most expensive. It's all
Yeah.
everything else that you need
Hmm.
to go with that meat.
Yeah. That's how today I got 8 things from Walmart, and it was 60, almost $70 for 8 items, and all it was water. I needed cleaner for bathroom cleaner. Um, what else was it? I mean, it was just like little odd and end things, like nothing, big or major. Like it normally would have costed probably about $30.
Yep. Look at toilet paper. 40
Mm,
bucks for toilet paper that you wipe your butt and flush down the toilet? Come on.
yep.
Now I'm going to pay $40 for my toilet paper because I do Charmin double 2 ply, 4 ply, whatever. I'm not buying no Angel Soft or generic Walmart's where my finger goes to the toilet paper. So there's some
Right.
things I don't mind paying for name brand, you know?
Right. Right.
But a lot of this stuff, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I'm almost
Yeah.
like I like to do now is if I'm going to cook, I will plan it out and I'll write a list and I'll just have Tim on his way home because he passes the store, the commissary. I'll just have him
Right.
stop at the store and pick it up on his way home.
Yep.
Because, first of all, come home and then what? Go back out. There's more gas and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But you do a list, you plan what you make because I
Yep.
used to be spontaneous. I'd just call
Yeah.
him, hey, why don't you bring home this, this, and this? I'll make dinner. This is what I'm going to make tonight or tomorrow.
Right.
You do a little bit like that throughout the week. That's double than what if you just go for the whole week at once.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you don't do that anymore, Savannah.
No. That's
Commissary is
I've got
almost as bad.
where we've been doing, well, I've talked about it before, we've been doing that HelloFresh stuff, and it's cheaper for us to do that than
Yep.
it is to go out and grocery shop every week. I mean,
Or
we
go
can get
out.
that. Yeah, we get that. And, you get good meals and stuff, and it's just, I was like, why not do that instead of having to spend all that for stuff that you can get almost half the price?
Shame on you, Messiah, saying use our hands.
Hey, Dark.
I'll tell you what, if toilet paper goes up to $60 for a thing, hands might be a good idea because at least you go wash your hands off with soap and water.
Right. Get you a bidet.
That's true. Get the bidet. No, if
Uh,
toilet paper keeps going, I'm just going to keep going to that flushable wet wipes. But if you're worried about it backing up your toilet, even though they're flushable, you just get baggies, those little Walmart bags.
mm,
And after you wipe, put them in the bag, tie it up, and take it outside to the trash can
yeah.
or burn them.
Mhm.
But then the smell, you don't want to. So toilet paper is going to keep going up, and people are going to just turn to wet wipes.
No.
So, or the water hose. There you go. Just a little cold. So I'll put it to the inside sink and run the hose outside. Or get a little kiddie
There you go.
swimming pool. And that's where you do, you go in
Yep.
there and get yourself clean and then dump the water and clean it out nightly or every couple of days. Hey, Maria, how you doing?
Hey, Maria.
Yeah, paper did go up because of the C virus.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Funny how viruses, all these diseases that we wiped out with the vaccines just seem to be popping up all over the place all of a sudden. I wonder maybe because we let people in that aren't forced to take vaccines, it's against their rights coming
Hmm.
into our country illegally, but they're not supposed to have to take a vaccine, but we all are.
Yep.
They don't have to have chicken pox, the smallpox vaccine. When I heard smallpox trying to make a rise again, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Mm.
They quit giving that awful shot back in the early 70s so that because they had found the vaccine to get it gone.
Well,
So, but we knew they couldn't use COVID against us again. Nobody was going to
no.
fall for that crap again.
No. God, I remember when that first happened. It was scary when it first started. Like, especially when people started panicking and doing all this crazy stuff. And I was like, oh my God. It's like, it's going crazy.
See, I didn't get scared because when I researched it, it's just a damn flu.
Yep. Yeah.
And
Basically, it
the
is.
only people it was designated. I'm sorry, but isn't
Mm.
it funny that when it came out, anybody who caught it was sent to the nursing homes where what was the Democratic think about AOC when she was running. What did she say? She said it's all the old white people who still have this American rah 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 uh, mindset.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, COVID comes out, and wouldn't you know it, all the old people in
Mm.
nursing homes were being deliberately set up to be wiped out.
No.
You didn't hear of too many. I mean, there were younger people perishing, but those after being, incubated and stuff. But for the most part,
Yeah.
they were sending our sick to nursing homes.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's when my mom, she got it and she was in the hospital for almost 2 weeks. And, you couldn't go see her. You could only talk to her over the phone for like so long. Like they wasn't
right.
allowed to talk for long at all. And like, and they were treating people in the hospitals where their families went in there. They were treating them horrible,
Oh, yeah.
the patients and stuff.
And they were able, the reason why they didn't have family members in there is you didn't know what they were being given and you couldn't advocate for them.
Yeah. Let's love her heart. She had her whole stomach. They were giving her shots in her stomach for some reason. I can't remember what it was, but they would started giving her shots in her stomach, and her stomach was bruised so bad,
Mm.
like all the way across. Like it was horrible.
And I do see that they're talking about the bird flu again. Well, let's be real.
Mm.
Back in the 70s, the bird flu came out and they had a vaccine already for the bird flu. And that's
Mm.
why you don't ever hear, every so many years, you'll hear, oh, the avian bird flu, the H1N1's coming out.
Uh-huh.
But you never seen a big old amount of deaths anywhere. Just
No.
scaring people. It seems like right around every 2 to 4 years, we're going to have. I'm surprised we haven't had writing of a bad cop doing something because it's the election year, and we
Hmm.
already know every 2 to 4 years there's always a bad crooked cop on the take that takes somebody out illegally.
Well,
We haven't
yeah.
had that. I wonder why.
No. Yeah,
Uh,
Michael, my husband, he had to have that. They had a note or like a some type of card or something that they had to keep with them because they
yep.
were considered, what was it? Like not first responder, but like the not medical, but government worker, however you want to say it. But he had to carry that around. So if he was on the road and got pulled over or anything like that, he had proof that he was allowed to be out.
See, for luckily for a lot of people where Tim works and stuff, is if they didn't deal with patients, they
Hmm.
could get an exemption, but they had to prove their exemptions,
Yeah.
whether it was medicine you were on, treatment
Mm.
you were on, um, uh, religious beliefs, and they were really
Yep.
good. The VA actually did pass out the paperwork needed, and if you didn't deal with the elderly veterans, like at the hospitals, or you
Mhm.
weren't working around patients or anything like that in the Veterans Administration, older vets, they didn't
Mm.
have to do it. They tried forcing them, and then luckily, I don't know, there was enough people threatening lawsuits, and all of a sudden they're like, well, if you have an exemption, you must prove it and apply for it. And
Mhm.
Tim got his exemption and he never had to get it.
No,
But it wasn't really pushed hard down here in the state to do anything. So,
no.
but he was offered a DOD job, and that would have been a pretty big DOD job. And
No.
we probably would have had to move. That's all I'm going to say. But
Mm.
to do it, it was mandatory for that shot. And Tim's like, you know what? I don't, it's
No.
not about money for me, and I don't need that kind of title. It's not
Right.
worth it. I'm not getting the
Mm.
shot. So he refused
No.
to work in the DOD.
No.
So, but he has his exemption. So, and we threatened lawsuits because, you know, just
Mm.
his injuries that he received over in Iraq, and the shots and stuff that they gave our soldiers, they couldn't
Right.
tell what that vaccine would do to them.
Right.
So he was lucky. He had a doctor that advocated for him, and quite a few vets with that had
Mm.
been hurt in Iraq, and the meds and stuff that they had been treated with.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people took them blue eyes, and then they started having problems.
Yeah. Yeah. They threatened my husband. They said if he didn't get it, like the employees that wouldn't get it didn't show proof, that they were going to fire him. And a bunch of them stood up and was like, "Well, you're just going to have to fire us."
Yep.
And they ended up cutting it to where they didn't have to have it. So,
That and the lawsuits when they got threatened,
mhm.
because look at the airlines. There was that one airline that said, we are not forcing our employees or our customers to fly to prove that they've had a shot or wear a
Mm.
mask,
Right.
and or their employees not to get it. And what they do, they threaten them with federal funding, and they caved in.
Oh, yeah.
So one of my hairdressers, her husband, his job made him. And they offered, and he wasn't going to do it, but his mom pressured him. Said, well,
Mm.
I'm elderly and I'm sick, and I'm not gonna be able to see you ever again. She put the guilt trip. He got it. And no
Mm.
lie, there was within a couple months he ended up having breathing problems and went in, and actually luckily he was in the hospital because he had an aneurysm,
Yeah.
and or a brain, some, I don't know if it was aneurysm or something to do a tumor, something. And when he had last had his last physical, there was nothing there at all. And he just started having a heart attack. He had all kinds of health problems after he got
Mm.
that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's crazy. Hey, Spence,
Mm.
how you doing?
Hey,
Ricky, did
Spencer.
we say hi when you came in? I think we
Uh-huh.
did, but just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure, because we appreciate each and every one of you spending your afternoon with us. So anyways, it's crazy, but who cares about how somebody talks? Because I'm telling you
Right.
what, look on any person's page on YouTube, and how Trump talks is how most of us, every damn one of us in this community talks. Hey,
Right.
running with scissors, how you doing, sister?
Hey, running.
I've heard language talked by everybody. Some of
Mhm.
us, we're more blunt than others. That's true, but everybody has talked that way. And he thought he was in private. He was being set up because that guy was a Bush, George W. Bush. And they all
Yeah.
know how they were so hateful of Trump. So it was a setup. But he thought it was off the mic. He thought it was just two guys, a friend. And Billy even said he didn't realize that they were going to leak that audio. So he didn't
Yeah.
set him up. So he talks like one of us, and that's what they can't stand, is he speaks our language. No matter what nationality you are, no matter what your skin color is, Trump policies talk to all of us.
Yep.
And he literally put his money where his mouth was, because he gave away all. And he better keep his paycheck this time to save up and make up for all the money that the Dems had tried to take away from him all these
Yeah.
years. He
I
deserves it.
thought it
Keep
was
your
funny.
money, Trump.
I thought it was funny when he first talked about that he wasn't going to take a salary when he first got elected, and everybody's like, "Oh, he ain't going to do that. He's all about the money. He's all about the money." I was like, "Okay, y'all wait and see."
Yep. I'm glad he hasn't promised that this time, because you know what? Anybody that expects or tells him that, oh, what happened? You got greedy. It is about the money. No, you guys, the Democrats have tried to rob him and take him and strip him of his dignity, his manhood, his freedom, and his financial independence and his businesses. That man deserves a salary.
Mhm.
If he helps us again like he helped us before and gets in there, Mr. President, please keep your paycheck.
Right.
We will not think bad of you. And those who do, tell them to suck your dick, Mr. President.
Right.
And you won't be doing it like Clinton did underneath the table with Monica.
Right.
So yours
Oh,
is
cigar.
literal, not yours is figurative, not literal.
Right.
That's all those masks did. It helped our criminals become better criminals because you
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
ever identify them.
No.
That's when all the kidnappings and all the crimes, murder, rapes, robbery, all of it, is people had
Mhm.
masks on. How you going to identify somebody?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
'cause used
just,
to you couldn't walk into places, especially banks and stuff, with your face covered or anything like that.
yep. And I still find it crazy today, where I go to the casino, I go to a restaurant, I go to the airport, I go to the Walmarts, and I see young, healthy people walking around with a mask. And I'm like, oh, tell me you're a sheep without telling me that you go, bah,
Right.
bah, and do what everybody. That's all that mask was, is a
Yeah.
test. It was a
Oh yeah.
test to see how many people would jump and
Mhm.
follow and fall in line and do as they were told
Yep.
without any proof, and with knowing that those masks, if you fart and your underwear don't trap all the air inside, how the hell are you coughing in that thin little mask?
Right.
Is not, because all you had to do was put a face covering. It didn't matter if you got a piece of a t-shirt and you put two holes in it and put a string on it, you were allowed to wear it.
Well, right tattoo. I was sitting here thinking the same thing. People wearing the mask in the cars
Yes,
driving down
that's
the
what
road.
BC was talking about. Yep.
Well,
Sean, we gotta let him have it. Oh, screw De Niro.
mm,
That man has lost. You know, when him and Madonna and all them had to stick your nose into politics. I don't buy your music to get your opinion on what our president does. I get
right.
you to entertain me. So
Right.
shut your damn mouth and do your movie, do your song, and stay out of my business.
Move on.
Stay out of my
Right.
wallet, bitch. That's what I think about Hollywood getting involved.
Well,
They're allowed to have their opinions.
right.
Everybody's allowed, but don't be out there deliberately trying to shame people by using your status.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
that's one thing. Like everybody's entitled to opinions. I have no problem with that, but don't try to push them on me.
yeah. And you know what? The way Trump got the votes of the minority vote, you ain't gonna tell me that I don't buy that Beyonce and Jay-Z didn't vote for Trump on the second round. Nope.
Mm,
They like their money like everybody else does, and they like the way the life was doing and the security and the safety for their children and the schools and everything that Trump. You can't. I don't anybody tell. I didn't vote for him. Bullshit. That's why
right?
his numbers tripled at the damn box office.
Every
So
time I hear that, I crack up. Bullshit.
Messiah says he farts around mask wearers.
Right?
Messiah's got me confused sometimes. Sometimes I swear it's a female, and then most times I know it's a male, and they're pretty good.
Uh-huh.
I love when I could cuss out my wife and she couldn't understand me because of my mouth.
Yeah.
You know, I know this. Me and Tim didn't wear our mask, And Tim used to go to the store all the time and then come home. And we didn't catch it during
Well,
the 2020, the worst part of it. No, we didn't get that, or 2019 either.
well,
Golden was over in your chat by himself.
yes.
No, see, I think he did not catch Rona Menace. I believe either they told old Forgetful that he has it when he really doesn't, so they could get him to step down, because once the convention happens, they can't replace him. Now, it's either he really does have it, and prayers if he does, because at his age, I think it's a scam. I think he was either told he has it so that they can convince him to step down, or it was told he has it so he doesn't have to go live like he was supposed to the other day and talk about what happened with the failed assassination attempt on Trump.
Mhm.
Those are my two reasons why they're all of a sudden, nobody else around him has COVID, but he's got it, but yet nobody around him was a carrier, so nobody else has gotten him sick. So where did he catch it? So, and yes, he's probably going back to the basement because he fucked up on the debates. And after they failed the assassination attempts and he had to do a briefing, this is what it's about.
Right.
And did you see the wife? Okay. My heart goes out to the hero fireman that died at the rally who used his body. But the wife's out there bitching that Trump didn't contact her yet. Are you fucking kidding me? You lost your husband, but he was shot. He was shot too. Of course, Biden can call you. What's he doing?
Right. Well, Trump's going to the funeral.
Exactly. And he's already offered. And I hate to say this, and everybody knows I don't really listen to independent artists. Everybody knows this.
Uh,
And I know how everybody feels about Tom McDonald.
uh,
But he put out a video, and he just put out a t-shirt, and he's asking people to buy the t-shirt for one reason. He says you don't have to buy it, but if you do buy it, do not use your discounts, please.
right.
The money is 100% going to the families of
Mhm.
the firemen who died and the two critically wounded in the hospital.
Yeah.
All funds from that T-shirt. Now,
Yeah.
ACAL has put out that he did a T-shirt that yes, people
Mhm.
could buy it, but he's wearing it in the liberals, all the states, he says, to support Trump.
Yeah.
But he put out too that anything that the family needs, whether it's financial or any kind of support that he can bring and help to that family of that fallen fireman, that hero, he is donating and willing to do. So
Mm.
I'm waiting to hear other artists step up and offer financial help like these two. And I know that people even, uh, I'm talking about mainstream artists. I'm not hearing anybody offering funds to help,
Yeah.
you know? So I do appreciate that even though I don't have to like the music, I don't have to like
Right.
the gimmicks that Tom McDonald does, or I don't follow,
Right.
I can honestly say I don't follow him because I don't listen to this music unless Tim's playing a song. I don't really know it. Outlaw Nation, yes, but their family, we're around them all the time, guys, so I'm going to hear their music. But
Yeah.
and we're in Creek Squad community, so I've got to hear Upchurch's songs quite a bit from Tim and Kurt and everybody. So I do know some of his songs, but honestly, I've never really listened to many of Tom McDonald's. I think I've heard one or two. It's not my
Right.
type, but to hear them announce that all funds that they receive are going straight to that family, 100% cash.
Mm. Yeah.
um, I have to admire that. I'm going to give flowers where flowers are deserved. And
Right.
I do see there is a GoFundMe. Yep. Um, that was put out on another community. I tried to forward it, but it wouldn't let me. So
Mm.
he could do that, Messiah, but you know what? And I got to look at that. He made a t shirt, but the money, he's actually in, you know, if he doesn't have all the money that he can, he's letting other people help participate by buying a t-shirt. you know your money is going to a worthy cause.
Mm.
Or you could just donate it yourself. But at least
Yeah.
he's agreeing, he's trying. So to me, I'm not going to knock somebody who's actually trying.
Right.
So, and yes, he doesn't have to announce it, but in the same sense, he's like, this is what I'm helping. He's letting people know what this is for. Yes, you see
Right.
me with a new t shirt. This is why. This t
Right.
shirt is only going for this. Please don't use discounts. Don't do anything so I could send more. Yes, he could
Right.
just donate it. But I'm not hearing a lot of people offering to donate. So I'm not going to knock somebody who's willing to help. No matter how
Right.
it comes across, it's still an offer to help.
Mhm.
Does it promote him? Yes, it does. But you know what? Everybody on YouTube promotes themselves.
Yep.
I can't hate when I do a community post saying, "Hey, me and Maka are going live. We're promoting ourselves." So to have you guys come in and watch us. Now we don't want your money or nothing, but you know, exactly, teardrops. You don't have to like them to appreciate the gesture that's being made. That's all I
Right.
guess I'm trying to say. I don't have anything against Tom or for him. I don't have an opinion one way or another
Mhm.
because I don't follow. You
Right.
know, I don't get into the beefs. I don't follow the beefs. You
Right.
know, so who hates who is their business because it doesn't involve me.
Yep.
Adam's been good to Tim and he's been nice to me. I've talked to him. I know him off of YouTube. He's always been stand up to me. So his shit with other people is not my shit. I'm not going to get between uh family members. I'm not going to get between artists. I'm not going to get between friends. That's not my shit.
Right.
So being neutral means you got to stay neutral and accept people how they treat you. And he's done right so far. So unless he fucks me over, I can't go against Tom or anybody. All I can say is I just don't listen. I don't like his marketing strategies, but
Mm.
I'm going to leave it at that. It's not for me. I did not
Right.
approve of uh, when he used Black Lives Matter and said, if you don't buy my music, then you don't support Black Lives Matter. Now that was disgusting. So that I did hear about, that I do. It was all over my feeds. So yeah, that I have no respect for.
Mm.
So, but unless you meet somebody in real life, it's kind of hard to say you hate somebody unless you
Right.
have an interaction off life, off
Right.
YouTube.
Right.
So there are a few people that I can say on YouTube that I literally can't give a flying F about. But guess what? I have talked to those people off YouTube. And I can honestly say I can't stand them because they're just as much as a piece of shit online as they are when you talk to them in real life. So trust me, if we've gone at them, you can bet. And he is trying. I do have to think that I've saw a different side. He's not the angry person coming online anymore that he once was. So
Oh,
I got to give people the props that are trying.
oh yeah. I mean, people. Well, for one, he's redheaded. You gotta realize, redheads are hot tempered anyway.
Yeah, I'm married to one.
Two, like, I know that a lot of people took offense when he said screw the chat or however he said it. They're not important, whatever.
Yeah,
A lot of people didn't understand that he was not saying that to everybody in the chat. It was
the haters,
like,
right?
yeah, it was more like the haters, the trolls, and stuff like that that was getting under his skin. And I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. I guess I should say that first.
No, he
But,
said it. That's what he said to everybody too.
it just, people take things to heart that don't need to be taken to heart sometimes. And just because something is said or done in the heat of a moment or said a certain way or done a certain way doesn't mean that it's necessarily meant the way that it's said.
Yeah, and some people, it's to me if somebody's lying on you and you defend yourself. To me, I don't find that drama.
Mm.
If I don't get upset, if somebody's going to talk about me and I am what they're saying, I'm not. Why? That's when you don't get upset. If somebody's telling the truth about you, how you going to get upset when
Right.
they're speaking facts on your ass? It's when they lie on you. That's your
Right.
name. You got to stand up for your name. Now, if it's just opinions, who cares? And
Oh,
I'm just as guilty in the past. When I came on, you know, it's different. It's not like real life. Somebody come to your face and say something and you can handle it right then and there. It's just words over a computer.
mhm.
So I've even had to learn.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to outright lie. Well, you know what? Sometimes you there's certain people that lie that you have to take care of, and then there's other people who lie on you, and it's just like, psh, if I
Right.
really cared about what your opinion is or what it's more about who they're giving their opinions about you. If you respect people that might hear what they're saying, that you defend yourself. If
Right.
they're talking to a bunch of people about you that you don't care if they care what they think about you, then I don't give a shit.
Right.
Hey, Nickel G, how
Hey,
you doing?
cocaine. Hey, nickel.
Oh, when you said cocaine, I was like, what?
Yeah. Oh,
You
wait.
saying hello?
Yeah, cocaine Joe.
I thought Rich was in the chat. Remember what he said
Yeah.
last time he came in?
Yeah.
Spend your money on cocaine and hookers. The only way to
Right.
live. So, uh,
No, just over all of that.
and you know, Purple's going to be having a baby pretty soon.
Yeah.
Blue has a grandbaby who's 5 months old. And, you know, Belle was telling us how she was getting married over the summer, but she forgot to tell us when she did it. I didn't get to see
Oh,
pictures or anything. She said she's going to be working on that. So I was like, I congratulate her again because I remember when she was telling us, like in March or April, remember
yeah.
that she was going to be getting married in June. And,
Mhm.
yep, Ozzy Osbourne now has a YouTube channel. Shit. You know where I'm going. You don't see me on YouTube anymore, guys. You'll find me over in your Ozzy's podcast. No, I'm just joking. You know, I like him. I wish I could have seen him in concert, but there isn't any star. I don't care if you're an artist. I don't care if you're an actress, an actor, a race car driver, a famous chef. I don't care who you are.
Mhm.
I'm not going to be a simp. I'm not going
No.
to hang from your nuts, and I'm not
No.
going to tag you, and I'm not going to be like you're my god
No.
on earth.
No.
No.
No. No. There's not. To me, people, celebrities or, however you want to say it, they're just like everybody else. I've
Yeah.
never looked at somebody or have met a celebrity or, you know, I don't even know, actress, actor, singer, whatever, and been like, oh my God, just stars, struck. It's just like, hey, because I mean,
Yeah.
they're just like everybody else.
Yeah. So I I've had people, you know, artists come up on my panel. They've done food challenges, they've done talk shows with us, game shows with us, and they even asked me a couple of them like, what can we do to help you with your channel? I said, not a damn thing.
Uh,
I don't want anybody's help. uh you know, you're just who you are. Like when Adrian comes on, Adrian is just Adrian to me. He's
yeah,
family.
mm,
He's been close to Tim for years. Tim and him have the friendship, the family ties, and they have the music. I don't have that. I
no,
don't want it. I don't need you to get all your fans to sub up to me. I don't want nothing from you. Just even when
right,
Knuckles came on with his wife, just come
no,
up and have a good time. Forget who
mhm,
you are. You're just Knuckles to me. So I laugh when I'm called I'm a clout chaser. I really find that so funny. I have
right,
never tagged anybody but Tim in my I've tagged Jacksonville Joe, Sin, Tim, um, and a few others that are part of my community to help get them viewed, not
right,
for me. And it's like I don't tag famous people. I don't
mm,
have famous people's phone numbers. Um, yeah,
mm,
I like Ozzy, and when his show was on the Osbournes, I'd watch it. But I wasn't
I used
like
to
if I
love that
missed it,
show.
yeah, I could record it. It wasn't like I had to be. There's only one show that I was, or two that I had to be there the minute it came on.
Well,
And if I was outside with my friends, it'd be like, oh, Thursday, 90210 in Melrose. Got to get in the house for that show
yeah.
in the 90s. And when Supernatural came on, I'm sorry. Dean, hell yeah. Jensen Ackles, my ass was there when it was Supernatural Thursday night. It's like, I got to be there. Got to watch my Supernatural. Now
Well,
you got that DVR. All I have to do is record. I don't have to rush to watch anything anymore.
yeah.
So, but I'm not going to drool or pant or hang on every single thing that somebody says or does because they're famous.
Oh.
So, Menace, you ain't getting no dingleberry from me when you make it. You
I
can just have
just seen
somebody else.
what he said. He said that Adam is actually a midget with the tiniest legs I've ever seen on a human body.
Adam,
That's what he said. Because where I said that he's, they're all, just people like everybody else.
Messiah, he wouldn't even know what show that was.
Hey, Queen.
Now, I guess if Don Johnson, if this was in the 80s, where he was still like in his 30s or 40s and looked, or even 50s, the way he did when he was on Nash Bridges and Miami Vice, knowing that's been my crush since I was 13 years old, um, maybe I might be, a simp for him,
Wow.
but only because if I'm going to be hanging from his nutsack, he's going to be hanging from something on mine too. Let's just be fair here. So no, I guess I would not be. Hey, Bree.
Hey, Connie. I was
Oh,
trying to
I
think. I
ain't
was like,
knocking
is
the
there
vice.
somebody that I would be like that for? But I honestly can't.
Not one
Can't.
person ever in
No.
history.
No.
Oh, come on. If Sylvester Stallone in his gold, like in 30 or
No.
40, and he flexed that arm, you wouldn't like wrap around and just dangle from the bicep.
No.
Yeah, me either. Now I wouldn't mind like drooling over Van Damme doing splits in midair up on a between the door frame for a few minutes. Makes it, you know, he was
Hey,
cute
rock
back
on.
then. I don't know what happened to him right now, but nah.
Uh, yeah,
I
there.
wouldn't even know who he was walking down the street. I'd never even look twice.
Uh,
So
yeah, honestly, I'm sitting here trying to think. Like, I can't think of one celebrity that I would be like that for.
no,
In
because
all
they don't pay
honesty,
your bills. They don't
no,
do anything for you. What do? They put out a movie that I get enjoyment for 2 hours,
no,
or they put out a song that I can buy a CD, and when I'm in my car or something, I'll play the CD.
no.
Is it gonna get me through every minute of my day? Is it gonna pay my bills? Is it gonna raise my kids or my grandkids? Is it gonna put clothes on my back or food on my no? Gonna warm me in a cold night? No.
No.
So why am I gonna simp? I'm not gonna clout chase or, you know, any of that
There,
bullshit.
now there is one that maybe
Who's that
it
maybe?
it would be Joe Pongilio. I can never say his last name. He was married to Sophia. Uh,
Oh, yes. I'm Joe May. Yes, I know
I
who
can
you're
never
talking
say
about.
his
Oh
last
my
name.
God. He was
Yeah.
on True Blood as the head of the
Yes.
werewolf, and oh my,
Yes.
he was in Magic Mike, and
Yes.
yeah, okay, yeah. But that's those arms too. He's
Yeah.
got those biceps we said we're attracted to.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That would
Christy
be one.
McNichol
I
from
just thought,
Messiah. But not for permanent. You'd probably like get him, have that moment, do what you got to do, and then it'd be like, all right, you
yeah,
know, because the stars
yeah.
aren't all that they're cracked up to be in real
No,
life.
no. It would be
So
a one night thing. That would be one that I would be like, yeah, one night will be good.
Yeah. Okay, if you had to pick 3 people that if you had a get out of jail card free one time, Tim, will you take care of him? Oh, all right. Oh, he wants your dinner. Okay. So if you had 3 people that you had to, that you could like, okay, if you ever met these 3 people, get out of jail card, who would they be at any time in life?
Well, of course, the one I just said would be him.
Right.
Um, oh God, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think for a second. Who would yours be? Well, I think
No,
on mine.
not now because he's in his 60s or 70s, but back between the ages of 20 and 60, yes, would have been Don Johnson,
Okay.
Jensen Ackles from Supernatural, Dean, and I'd have to say Joe from Magic Mike too.
Oh,
Climbing that
that,
6'4" body, yeah,
mm,
6'5", yeah.
could
But
you?
that's
Never
only
mind.
one night stands
Never
that
mind.
I would want. I would,
Yeah.
I could honestly say I would not give up or trade my life with Tim for no famous person. Because look how many times they've been married and divorced that never last, and yeah.
Mm,
And whoever thinks Justin Timberlake is so sexy, ugh,
mm-mm.
ugh. I mean,
No.
he's a toothpick with legs and a head.
No.
I would only date Adam Sandler for his sense of humor, not because I
Yeah.
find him attractive. Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer.
Teardrops. All his female teachers had the 80s Sylvester Stallone haircut. Did he, Savannah? Ryan's dropped a couple songs in the last week.
Mhm.
And because I don't listen to the music, I just know I'm friends with so many Creek Squad members that I always know, and I do see his videos. I'll tell you who I really like in the Upchurch camp is Deerdorf. Because of his being a gearhead with his cars, he likes the
Well,
muscle cars and the mudding and the shit that he gets into. I actually like watching his content.
well,
And that's somebody whose best friend is the number one independent artist, and he's still humble and he don't let it get to him. Their friendship's not affected by the music, it's separate,
right.
and I admire that.
Well,
So but I do enjoy 98% of crack squad. There's only I do not like the few, and it's the new members that I call that. But the creek the Creek
Creek.
Squad members in our community, I have mad respect for the Creek Squad. The
Mm,
few Crack Squad, no, I ain't got no respect for the Crack Squad. The Creek Squad,
no.
they're amazing people.
Yeah.
They like people, respect people who are neutral. They don't have to have the same beliefs or like the same things. And they'll tell you how it is. They like who they like, and that's it. Look,
No.
Messiah, you know who I was calling Crack Squad. There's a few that
Right.
always either put him down and then the next minute it's just to get attention, or then it's they're liking him. It's yeah.
Mm,
Or you can't have a different opinion on one thing. If you don't like what they like, then you're a piece of crap. That is what I'm talking about.
no.
He pulled up in a Range Rover where Mel and I were standing trying to stay dry because it was raining. Oh, okay. Yeah, they all got to watch Upchurch in concert, so that was a good thing. And see, here's another thing that I can say: I ain't never been to no independent artist concert, and
Mm,
I could go for free. I
no.
don't go. I don't listen to the music. All right,
I'd like
Savannah.
to go just one time, like just to see, just because I've never been to one.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think if I was ever going to go to one, it would have been the South one from the 4th of July, because I would
Oh,
have got to sample all of the independent artists. The
right.
the the known ones, I would have been able to hear all of them. So I could have said, okay, I got to sample it. I got to see the
Right.
Outlaw Nation crew, the Upchurch crews, the ACAL crews, and I could have seen it all and got a taste of everybody at one time. A little bit of all the flavors of the independent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, I just, my concerts are beginning, Def Leppard, Heart, Foreigner, them kind of, those are the concerts I want to go to. I want to, I went to uh, Firehouse and,
Mm.
I've been to uh, White Snakes and ZZ Tops. Those are my concerts. Tim's is the independent, mine's the
Right.
rock. So, you
Mhm.
know, oh, you'll probably go. There's always concerts, Savannah. They're done for this year, a lot of the groups, because this is where they write their music and stuff. But what are you laughing
She's
at?
a menace.
Uh oh.
Gin pop with like a peasant.
All right. And no, he did
Ah,
not bring sexy back, Teardrops.
no.
Justin Timberlake. The only thing he was bringing back was the gag reflex.
Mhm.
And Ashton
I,
Kutcher. Who finds him sexy? Ugh. Come
now
on.
I gotta say now, I think it's his attitude though, like his personality. I mean, he's not one that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, drool worthy or whatever. But there's just something about him. I think it's just his personality that I like
I don't know
when
what
it
he
comes to
did.
him.
To me, I think he married Demi Moore just to
Mm,
elevate himself. And his
yeah,
true love was with Mila, I mean.
yeah,
And I
mhm,
think he, I don't know, you can't tell me that he wasn't with messing around with her or talking to her still behind the scenes.
yeah,
He was with Demi, I think, when his career was starting to go, and I think it elevated him. And he got in with Bruce Willis, and he got in with Demi Moore and all her kids, and they're starting their careers. And I
yeah.
just think, yeah.
Mm.
So it's funny how fast him and Mila hooked up. So
Oh yeah. Well, they'd known each other for years.
yeah, from
I
the
mean,
'70s show and everything.
yeah, I love that show. Show was so funny. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think they were always one that were meant like they were gonna be together. You could
Yep.
just tell it even back in the younger, like the old, like in
Exactly.
the
So I
'70s show.
why did he take a 3 or 4 year detour is what gets me, is because he
Yeah.
always said he knew she was the one for him. And yeah,
Mm,
Jennifer, I'm glad he's doing much better.
yes.
So Saturday treated exile crap, I had to tell him. So all right, guys, I have got to go have dinner, and we know, I think the Rick and Moses show's on tonight for those who go over there, and I think Triple T's going live tonight. For those that go over there. A lot of good people going live. So wherever you go,
Yep.
check it out. But
Yep.
you don't have to go home.
But you can't stay here.
There you go. And Menace says at some point he's going live, which I don't know
Okay.
why he and Tim just don't get on a damn panel together. I mean, they all
Yeah.
the same people, instead of everybody being separate. Like, all right, we're jumping from this one to this one. Just do it together, Menace.
Or
So
do a dual stream.
yeah. So you both do the music anyways.
Yeah.
So, but he does, Menace. He does. He used to, and then he quit to give the rest of us a chance. So, you're welcome, Jennifer. All right, everybody. You take care. And an announcement, sisters. Will be coming to an earlier time on Tuesday nights now. How me and Maka are doing the what is it, the 6 time frame
Uh-huh.
between 6 and 6:30 Central, 7 to 7:30 Eastern. Sisters will be going live on Tuesday nights earlier too. That
Oh,
way it's not so late in the evening for people. And with her schedule and everybody else's in mind, it hasn't been gelling lately. So we decided we're gonna we're going to start earlier. Oh, Wade's
Cool.
live tonight too. See,
Oh.
there's variety in the air for everybody on Wednesday nights. So
Yeah.
it's our turn that we enjoy that you guys have hung out with us. So we're going to quit being selfish and let you move on to other people tonight.
No.
So, and God bless Trump.
No.
All right.
Fight, fight, fight.
Vote, vote, vote.
Right.
Don't take your votes for granted. Get out and vote.
Right.
And if your family says they're not voting for him, show them what he did when he got shot, how he handled it like a man and didn't skirmish off and pretend to be sick.
Right.